The Cornbread Prodigy, authored and narrated by Richard Pouncey. The genesis of Amara's genius is deeply rooted in the damp, storied earth and salt air of Charleston, South Carolina. Born into a lineage whose very existence seems woven from tradition and starch, she first encountered the visceral magic of baking at the age of 3. Her hands, though small, moved with an unnatural, almost ancestral torque, mixing cornmeal and insisting on the sacred geometry of cast iron skillets, the same tools used by her forebears, linking her to a physical time depth that transcended her years. This was not mere play. It was an apprenticeship accelerated by innate understanding. By the age of 7, her senses had evolved beyond simple perception. She could discern the subtle variations in moisture content in any cornmeal by its scent. This nuanced olfactory index spoke volumes about harvest conditions and seasonal changes in atmospheric pressure. This mastery reached a zenith at 10 years old. She entered a national bake-off presenting a smoked paprika and wild honey jalapeno cornbread that was less a confection and more an archaeological revelation. The critic did not weep from simple taste. He wept because the bread's crystalline lattice structure had momentarily rendered visible his personal history. The precise moment of loss, the forgotten words spoken at a pivotal wedding, all etched into the crumb's beautiful, heartbreaking architecture. Every single piece was an edible memoir, smelling of brine-soaked time and necessary volatile combustion. For Amara, the kitchen is not just a room, it is an operational space for profound emotional regulation, a pressurized valve that manages local causality. Her process is characterized by a breathtaking tension between absolute control and radical surrender, a dance of quiet mastery that defies standard culinary physics. She doesn't measure flour, she reads the light, interpreting the shifting quality of the afternoon sun through dust motes suspended in the humid air. She feels the buttermilk shift before it shifts itself, sensing the room's collective mood, allowing her to work with ingredients as if they were sentient, breathing entities that communicate their deepest needs through texture and scent. Her hands move with a calm, ritualistic precision, sifting cornmeal into a bowl that seems less like cookware and more like a vessel for ancestral memory. When she whisks the buttermilk, the gentle sound it makes is not merely liquid friction. Those who understand her art describe it as the sound of hundreds of tiny glass bells shattering in slow motion, coating the air with microscopic rainbows of potential sourness and unsung possibility. She feels the profound rhythm within the nascent batter, folding in silence only when the collective energy of the moment dictates a halt. This connection is so deep, it transcends nutrition. The cornbread she crafts is fundamentally an emotional transference. It is not just food, it is a feeling made tangible, solid, and warm to the touch. Every loaf functions as an absorber, absorbing her immediate emotions, the lingering energy residue of the kitchen, and the cumulative weight of memory that seems perpetually suspended over Charleston. When people consume this bread, they do not simply enjoy its flavor profiles. They are compelled to involuntarily relive a profound, sometimes destabilizing journey back to moments both personal and entirely foreign. Amara's understanding of ingredients is less chemistry and more psychoacoustics. She does not just combine them, she orchestrates their dialogue. The cornmeal always arrives with an evocative whisper, a blend of deep sea salt and burnt lavender that speaks of forgotten tides. She guides this raw material into form almost reverently, treating it as if it were a volatile secret awaiting coaxing from the heat itself. Her technique incorporates elements bordering on the impossible. She utilizes blue corn infused not just with huitlacoche, but with the slow, velvety memory of things that thrive perpetually in shadow. She uses miso and black garlic not merely to season. Still, structurally, they serve as powerful anchors, pulling the ephemeral, weightless joy of a perfect dessert loaf back down into the solid, undeniable reality of the plate. When Amara is in deep concentration, her communion with the elements is visibly dramatic. The smoke rising from the oven does not possess the scent of wood smoke. It smells precisely and overwhelmingly, like the moment before a crucial memory surfaces, a sharp, vital fragrance that cuts through the sweetness. Her readings of barometric pressure are based entirely on minute internal tension within the buttermilk itself, a tautness that functions as a real-time emotional barometer for Charleston. Is the approaching tide carrying with it the deep ache of nostalgic melancholy, or does the air vibrate with the sharp, brilliant promise of an impending revelation? She believes time itself to be a quantifiable binding agent, a crucial element folded into the batter. If she senses that local anxiety levels are rising, which manifests as a low, audible, vibrating hum near the cooling rack, Amara will intervene by folding in a pinch of silence, harvested not from meditation, but from the deepest, most resonant void within an unsung chord on a cello. The resulting loaf is an affront to standard taxonomy. It refuses simple classification. Its crust does not merely brown, it possesses the mottled sheen of petrified autumn sunsets, a hardened shell that shatters like 1,000 perfect momentary silences. Meanwhile, the interior crumb, dissolving upon contact with the tongue like a warm whisper, signifies its total lack of resistance to memory. This mastery elevates her status beyond that of a mere baker. She is an artisan who performs alchemical negotiations with entropy itself. Her goal is always to force fleeting beautiful moments, the perfect pop of nitrogen foam, the crystalline structure of lost memory, the sudden rush of absolute epiphany to adhere temporarily to the loaf's temporary geometry before they inevitably and gloriously dissipate back into raw potentiality. It is an unsustainable grace. Her collaborations with molecular gastronomists are often feats of sheer willpower. When she interacts with cryogenics, she does not direct the liquid gas. She merely extends a hand, and the cold nitrogen recoils from her fingertips like startled moonlight, coercing the cornbread foam into being as if by pure, concentrated magical will. Thus, Amara has built a culinary identity that is both utterly grounded in Charleston's rich history, the scent of salt marsh decay, the feel of worn flagstones, and transcendentally metaphysical. From her signature pairing of blue corn and huitlacoche to dessert iterations adorned with bourbon-soaked peaches and maple mascarpone, every bake she creates serves as a comprehensive manifesto, an edible testament to the idea that deep emotional experience can be structured, contained, and consumed from glorious, fragile moment to glorious, fragile moment.
I think I like this.